Yeah, with the upper bracket finals, the winner of this, of course, will advance into the final later on today. But we are going to be watching Team Refuse, formerly known, now known as Team Pride, as they have been dismembered from their organisation. And we're also going to be watching them go up against the mix that we've seen so much from this weekend, which is going to be the Rasta Infused mix. I'm John Saber, of course. Saber, how you doing?
Not too bad this fine afternoon. How are you? Easter Sunday.
I'm good, actually. It's my birthday tomorrow, so I'm pretty excited. Easter Monday is my birthday. Ain't that special?
You seem ready?
I am ready, as a matter of fact. I'm very ready. I was born ready, and I'll die ready. That's all I can say on the matter, really, if I'm completely honest with you. I'm ready.
Yeah, so we're going to see Refuse actually start on the CT side here. It was the Rasta Infused team that did pick up the knife round and have elected to actually start on the terrorist side of things. Of course, they are the mixed team, and of course, Dust 2. You know, it's a real map that you know it's really dependent on the team, like whether they prefer the CT or T side. It's very much a subjective thing as opposed to like an objectively biased map per se. So clearly, Rasta Infused feeling that they want to start on the terrorist side, maybe just set the pace of things, maybe have a strong pistol with the Glocks. Obviously, we see 5 sets of Kevlar, and we see Cryptics actually opening things up on here on Nexus. As the Pride team have elected to try and push up mid there for information. Cryptics will also find a second onto Neeks.
Yeah, massive amount of information being gathered. I have no idea why X-Ray isn't working right now. That's kind of upsetting. Oh, it is. It's on mine. Oh, that makes sense, actually, as it goes. But the frags are coming in now, 2 versus 4, as the T's do find their way onto that B site. It's effective so far, and it leaves just Reach remaining. 1 versus 4 now. Cryptics 4k in the round. If he can find the ace, that would be massive. So much money being gathered, but Reach will find Surreal with the 1-tap onto the head. But he's got a lot more work to do if he wants to go for this retake. There is one low man, but there's still Mole and Som almost full HP. It will not be easy to take them down. Cryptics is peeking, but he gets the ace. Nice and easy, making it look like it's nothing. That is massive coming out there straight off the bat from Cryptics. And we were saying just before we started, we really want to see Robin and Surreal going off. If Cryptics is going off as well, these Polish guys have something to worry about here.
Yeah, obviously this being a mixed team, but mixed team with some very highly skilled players to say the least here, and Cryptics giving us just one little display of that. Obviously the Polish team going for that push at mid really didn't pay off for them. Cryptics found a 2-Glock headshot. Sen found a 1-tap onto the man that had rotated into that mid-doors position in order to try and gain some information for the CTs in that 3v5. Morals will open things up with his 5-7 to Robin, but Moral traded out with his Mac 10. And that'll be a 4v4 situation where you have two terrorists in the lower dark area. We have a scout in the mid-doors position as well for the CTs, who are on the force by the upgraded pistols, the Kevlar. Bit of utility to work with as well. See what they can do with it.
Yeah, they've found that one frag there onto Robin. It's going to be a good opening. There's a little bit of damage already done. If they can find themselves at least one more frag, if not more, they'll be doing well for themselves in this force up. Just keep those CTs honest. They've gone with a bit of a risky buy. No full rifles being brought up, really. Just the Galil onto Mole. Apart from that, playing it safe. So Robin's death not meaning too much, not a massive amount of money invested into it. It's not going to be too bad as they push now towards this A site. Molotov goes in to try and block out the positions of the CTs, but they're going to have to push in dry even as Neeks with an Eagle finds 1, but he's going to be traded out straight away with Som's Mac 10, and so it leaves 3 versus 2. Yeah, however, both on the A site ready to respond to anything. And Camille, he'll find 1, taking down Som, but the bomb is planted for sure. All that they have to do is play this one safe. They're going to be tapping away on that defuse, seeing if they can find anything. Camille will find Mole, and it leaves a 1 versus 1 now. Surreal versus, is he going to peek it? Yes, he will. Takes Camille off of the defuse, goes for the jump and gets the headshot, but no, he's got plenty of time there.
That's
My
God,
Camille.
Shot there from Camille.
Wow.
Not only did he find the first jumping scout shot when the man was planting for short on the on the A bomb site. Not only that, he makes his way onto A, and in a 2v2 situation forces Mole out of position, and he gets traded. And finds that ridiculous jumping shot onto Surreal, who was retreating back down catwalk, buying time for the bomb to indeed blow up. But Team Pride answering straight back here. It's worth noting that they haven't actually dropped a map so far this tournament. An absolutely dismembered Nerd Rage in the winner bracket semi-final yesterday evening, from what I heard. So really coming out all guns blazing in that second round, picking up for lost ground in the pistol. We are going to see the response from Rasta Infused, and it will be a forced buy on their end as well.
Yeah, and debatably a very, very, very strong buy actually coming out. They did go with those SMGs, so it's not a massive detriment to the economy. They're still going to be able to pull out some rifles. It is going to be some no armor, just the deagle in hand, but there's a lot to play with across the team. Meek's trying to play close, trying to play with Mole here. Not going to work out too well for him if he goes for the peak, but Mole backing off should give a bit of an opportunity. Camille, he's playing with fire, but he's already proved he can take the heat.
Looks like Rasta and Fuse are employing a very similar tactic here in this round. To work the bomb up short, 3 of them are in that area. Mole actually pushing out towards the mid doors. Takes a bit of a gunfight with Camille, nothing too much comes out of it though. Still one Polish player towards those mid doors, playing very close in proximity to the terrorist side. But there are 2 players now on the B bomb site. But Exus will find the opening frag with his scouts. Reeks is still in the pit position to support him if need be, and one man has rotated through CT.
He's going to leave it, coming down to the frags now. They do find 2 on that Rasta side. That's Mole and Zom both chiming in. Massive frags as the bomb now goes down. But there are still 3 CTs alive, and Camille once again finding frags. That's a nice easy one, but this time traded out. Mole finds it and a 2K, and that is going to be absolutely massive. Now just Reeks, 1v2, and excellent post-plant positions. Does find 1, and Mole very low. Taps the defuse, but Mole with the grenade. Make sure he doesn't have to peek this one. Takes that, and you can hear him yelling in this hall. You can hear them going off here. That's Neil having a yell. We are live right now. This is live. It's a 3-minute delay on the stream, but as it comes into us, it's alive, on point. It's amazing. This is great. So, 1-2, bringing it back there. Massive, massive work for Infused.Rasta, and they're making a real case for this one. If they want to take a map, this is the map to do it. Dust 2, it is the playground of mixes, and they've got a lot of opportunity here.
Yeah, Dust 2's been a staple, certainly within the UK scene for years now, pretty much since the advent of CSGO. Indeed, going back into Source as well. It's worth noting that the losing bonus absolutely not in effect here for Refuse, considering they did win that second round force buy. It's left them in a very economically fragile situation. 3 of their players below the $2,000 mark. One of them, Morel's, just at the 2.1k mark. Exus with the most amount of money, but only still on 2,650 himself. So it's probably it could be a 5-7. It could be a 5-7 force buy, or some kind of force buy. It's definitely feasible here, and you know it might continue the trend of this game just to be a back and forth game where the teams keep force buying into one another, and it's just a game where the economies aren't really allowed to develop for either side. Yeah, have to wait and see.
Just comes down to who can get that 1 round consecutively, who can finally break the trend and keep it going. Now, Mole, we mentioned Cryptics did well. First round ace. Mole is 3rd round in, 7-1. That is absolutely massive. Mole going off, Cryptics going off. Now we're just waiting for Robin, Som, and Surreal. And I have no doubt that they're going to show up, because this game is massive. Whoever wins this first map, if it's Rasta, that's the first map anyone's taken off this team the entire tournament. That's the entire weekend. Group stages yesterday and today. I'm not sure if they've played today.
No, it's the first game that the team played today.
But we are going to be getting back into it now. Surreal back in the game. Should be looking for that unpause relatively soon. And it looks like, although Exus has gone for that armor, it's not going to be a force buy. They're going to keep 2k alive. They're going to make sure they're able to go into this round. No, I'm wrong. They're going for the force buy. Of course, it worked out in the second round. Why not go for it again? So they are going to go for that one. Now, the problem is, if Rasta are able to take this, it's going to be absolutely huge. Their economy will be wrecked. Rasta will surge ahead. But if they can win the round, then sure, it's a force buy win. It does the same thing to the enemy.
The terrorist equipment isn't the best, it has to be said. Only Tech 9 on Mole. 2 Mac 10s in hand as well. Only the 2 AKs, but they've still got a fair bit of utility to play with, which is not something you can say about the CT side. Very little utility indeed. Only the 2 high explosive grenades and the smoke grenade on Reets. So they're just going to have to win their gunfights here with these upgraded pistols and the scouts to see if they can do that. Robin will find the first kill with one of those high explosive grenades onto Neeks as they make their way up long.
Yeah, but these scout tags are starting to add up. It means the pistols are so much more powerful, but some finding Morels. That's going to be a big frag. Reach just trying to jump, finds the dink onto Robin, and the bomb down. He finds another onto Cryptics. Quickly get out of here. Now, 3 versus 3 in the HP. It's hard to say who it's favouring right now because everyone is low. Everyone's having a bad day. But at the end of the day, Rasta, they have the weapons, they have the armour. They should be able to convert this one. They need to get the bomb down. Som does manage to find Reeds, but it leaves Exus and Camille. And we've already seen what Camille can do when he's in a pressured situation. And now he's 1 versus 3. All it's going to take is one shot onto each player, and he's not going to do it. Mole finds the kill. Mole finds it, wins it again, and Mole is just going off right now. He is having a game of his life. Found the instant dink there onto X's straight out the back, straight out of long doors, found that dink, forced them back, and is just going uphill from there. Really good round. Came a little bit too close, but they managed to secure it in the end, and that is the economy out of the window. Rasta now should be able to surge ahead.
Yeah, Mole actually was very massive against FM in the previous round, the winning bracket semi-final that we covered at the end of last night. It's going to force the Polish team Pride onto a full eco here. Only a couple of PG50s in hand, and Robin will open up the B-bomb site as a result of that with quite some ease. We'll have to retreat with this Scar, so be careful. And Camille's found a USB kill onto Cryptics, but we'll get traded by Robin, who's found 4 in this round now. Really hunting those anti-eco kills like a true warrior. It's going to leave Neeks in the top mid position. Then they should be aware of his position because he did get the dink onto Mole in that T-spawn area coming out of the long doors, of course. Indeed, it looks like the terrorists will find final kill. That will be Robin with the anti-eco ace.
Wow.
That will be a 4-1 lead for the Rasta Infused mix. Getting off to a strong start here. And the economy is still not looking the best here for the Polish side. And indeed, actually, they're just going to go for pistol armor once again here, and which will really allow them to get out 2 AWPs potentially in the round after this one.
Yeah, if that's what they want to go with, I would assume it's going to be Morels and Camille. Straight off the bat with that double AWP setup. And Dust 2 is the kind of map where a double AWP setup is absolutely huge. You can put it to so much work, and it enables you to have so much more of a fluid setup on that CT side, because you can have those 2 AWPs anchoring a position, and everyone else can just do what they want. They can have a bit of a chill around, and as long as those AWPs are protected, they can go for pushes, they can go for the odd bit of aggression, and it really works out for them. But it's going to be the B site on this eco round that they are moving towards. Mole with the scout just going to tag off a little bit. The nades rain on in, and Morels has no choice but to succumb to the bullets of some. He's going to go down as Robin finds Camille. Now leaving just 3 players remaining. They have pistols and a little bit of armor, but it's not really a force buy here. Just the Eagles. Maybe the odd CZ coming out. Robin finding Neeks. Robin, he's loving these eco frags today. He really is wanting that money, wanting to build up the economy, and it's working out for him so far. Som and Robin both chiming in to find one. Now, while it is 5-1 up, it is credible to mention that Surreal is on 0 kills so far. It doesn't matter because they are 5-1 up at this point, but it's worth a mention.
Yeah, but he does have Adrian Pino in hand, and actually we're going to see 4 AWPs between the 2 teams here, so a real battle of the scoped weapons. Mole and Surreal on the terrorist side picking up those big green guns. On the Polish side it will be Camille and Neeks. See how this plays out. Camille not really got too much utility to work with, so he's going to have to put that gun to good use in terms of the aggressive picks, and indeed he will peek into the Xbox area, I believe, here. Just kind of biding his time, just holding a passive angle towards the doors, and Robin is actually going to flash himself through those doors. Dispatched up by Reese. Camille will take a peek off the back of that, but will be traded out by Mole.
Yeah, Mole making a massive trade there to take down not only Camille, but also one of the AWPs of the enemy, and evening it back out. We've lost Robin. It's an instant trade, and now Mole once more. He's taken a bit of a peek into that CT area. He's not found anything yet, and instead, Neeks, he's going to play off it. He's going down short, taking a bit of map control, taking a bit of aggression, and he could actually catch out the bomb here if the timing works out for him. All he has to do is push a little bit further, and he's going to see exactly what's going on. That could be really disastrous. He has backed off, however, and he's put a smoke down, so now they know what's going on. This should be the instant call, go B, because as soon as you know someone's pushed up on short, that means they've either given up long control, which is less likely, or they've got 2 people in CT, because that's how you defend, from the cross. So they should know. Head to B, hit it fast, and that's exactly what they're going to do. Nades go in, and it's a mid to B split. X is finding some. That's a pretty important frag there, but they're still pushing onto this site. Morels finds one for himself, but now Mole is in. Finds one, looking for a second, can't quite hit it, and it leaves just Cryptics, but he can't make it happen. Taken down from behind, and needs to finish him off with the AWP. It's going to leave 2 to 5, but plenty of money in the bank, as you can see. Robin stacking up those eco frags means he's got 10k in the bank to play with. He could even drop over and up after he's had a full buy there. Not going to do it. Surreal going to pick up that AWP, see what he can get done with it. See if he can find a frag so far. But still, score is 2 to 5. Rasta looking good in this one.
Yeah, I think Rasta and Fuse really showed their cards a bit too early there. It was a bit easy to read what they were doing in terms of the mid to B, well, indeed the B split rather. And indeed, the Polish team played one man towards the B doors, looking towards that mid area, and one man in the CT boosted up onto those boxes. and it was easy pickings, especially when the man that on the B site picks the man that's pushing through the B tunnels. It's quite easy in the end for them. But in this round, changing things up a bit here. Looks like they're going for a bit of a dynamic catwalk control play. So you see Cryptix nading up there. Robin and Mole flash themselves in. Two men have dropped down into the CT area here, so a bit of potential here for Rasta Infused to make something happen towards this A bomb site.
Getting ready to push in. They are going to be walking into the line of fire of Neeks. Smoke goes down to give them an opportunity to cross over, but it's all been a fakeroo. However, while they've been faking, there's a lot of map control being taken by the CTs here. They've pushed almost every area that the Ts weren't. They know everything that's going on. They know what they have to do. And they have now Rasta pinned into this mid area. They can go nowhere without either running through a smoke or running somewhere they don't know is checked. That's a really tough spot to be in. They are going to push out through mid here. They're going to run into Moraleezy. Find one. Looking for a second. Exus is the target, but support comes in. And so Mole will go down. But Robin spamming through. Does manage to find Reach in return, leaving it in a 3v3. And they're going to find themselves a 2 versus 1 onto that B site. It is going to be Camille having to hold it down, but he can't make it happen. Surreal, first frag of the game, and it's a very, very important one. Now Robin holding mid, can't quite hold on. And with 10 seconds left, the bomb will go down, leaving a 2v2 situation as Exus and Nix try and push back onto this site. And Molotov out, they have to go through the same position. And Cryptix, he should know it. Surreal finding one, and now it leaves just Exus left. AK in hand, finds Surreal. Is he going to know Cryptix is on close? He won't. Cryptix takes him down, and that is a massive frag in the round. 6 rounds on the board now for the Ts. An absolute economy domination. They have knocked out the economy of Pride completely.
Yeah, the fact that going into that round, Pride actually had to rebuy quite a few weapons on their side of things, really left quite a few of their players below the $1,000 mark. Indeed, now they've thrown that round away. Leaves them in really a state of economic bother. And forced back onto the pistols, and absolutely no Kevlar or utility nades to speak of. Never mind a defuse kit. Only 3 P250s in hand here on Exus, Morels, and Neeks to work with. But just in terms of the previous round that we saw, as we should see Rasta Infused pick up a 7th here. It was a real mixed team round from Rasta Infused. They really didn't have any presence towards the B tunnels in order to actually execute a fake, because they didn't have Som, who's usually their lurker. We see him this time around. He's actually posted up in these B tunnels. We didn't see that last round, and we saw one of the Pride players actually push into the B tunnels, gain the information that nobody was home, and it kind of forced the Rasta Infused team to just kind of scrim out of mid almost and just take the gunfights at CT spawn. Luckily for them, they found 2 picks on the players playing in that CT spawn area. And then also found the man that was playing B, and I don't know, they kind of brute force their way into a round win there, which is definitely what we're probably going to be the name of the game here for a mixed team almost.
Yeah, when you've got that much force, when you've got that much ability, you might as well put it to good use. Now finding Neeks, this should be clean-up day. Call in the cleaners. That was not. No, I'm not even going to say it. I'm not even going to say it. You know what I'm thinking. That's all I'll say. Cryptix finding 2, and they are sweeping up the ashes, leaving just Exus and Camille looking for some exit frags. And Robin already hunting finds Exus. Nice little spray there. It leaves just Camille. Can't find anything at all.
Yeah, really important there that Rasta Infused didn't drop too many weapons, and they really need to start building up this economy to work off this advantage that they've actually got for themselves here. A 5-round buffer now, 7-2 lead. Terrorist side of Dust 2, and finally we actually see one of the teams starting to build a bit of a bank for themselves. We've seen a lot of back and forth action between the in terms of a fragile economy the first 5 or 6 rounds, but finally one team seems to be taking economic control of things, and that is the British mixed team. See the CTs once again with a lack of utility, and Camille has already been picked off by the AWP of Surreal. He's really starting to come alive in this game now he's got that scoped weapon in his hands. Terrorist side are going to work up short. Cryptix will find the second here onto Neeks. It's going to be a complete cat control. It looks like it's going to be a quick A split execution here. Exus does find one, and the second onto Mole. Gives the Polish team a bit of a chance in this round.
Yeah, he needed those frags. They were so important. It allows the retake to come in effectively. If he had gone down there, they'd have had so much control of that A site, but instead they don't. Now Robin left on the site to try and defend. Exus once again going for those quickly kills, but he can't make it happen this time. And Moraleezy will find him instead, but Som holding back finds one. It all leaves it on Surreal. AWP in hand. Can he make it happen? I don't know if he has any inkling as to where that bomb is planted. But he's so far away, he can't listen for a fake. Now No, I don't think he sees. Luckily, it's a long defuse. He's going to have a few shots before he's killed. Doesn't have a choice. Surreal gets taken down by Exes to put the third round on the board, but still, 3-7. It's not looking bad at all.
Absolutely massive there from Exes to make those 2 frags from the CT position, just peeking up to Catwalk there. Really gave his team a fighting chance in that round, despite the lack of utility. The buddy system that they employed, moving up that Catwalk as a result in that 3v3, really allowed them to trade the kill onto Som. Also found the kill onto, I believe it was Cryptix, also on the A-bomb site,
Yep,
and just left Surreal isolated in that 1v2 situation with the 2 smokes down, really couldn't find the kill. And ultimately, Exus did dispatch of him for his hat-trick frag in that round. It's going to Polish team a bit of a chance in this game. You really have to be careful not to reset their economy here, and Cryptix has already found the first kill here onto Neeks.
Yeah, massive opening. Gives them a little bit of room to play with. But Reitz training it back out. It's a good frag onto Robin, who got a little bit overzealous, over-aggressive. And so now Cryptic's left to pick up the pieces, try and get through, figure out what is going on over on that A site. 2 men stacked up close. If Mole can find a way in, he's going to have a massive little spray down here, but instead Stom takes it. Now it leaves just Exus on the site as Cryptix finds Camille. It leaves just 1 player, Morels now. 1 versus 4. Make that 3 as he does find Cryptix. Now pushing towards this A site. He's still got a lot of work to do now. Smoked out. You can't see too many options coming his way. He's going to have to find a different way to go. Re-rotates himself around. He's going to have to look towards long, but I don't know if there's enough time for him to go through long, take that fight with Surreal, win it, and get to the site. It's just not going to happen. He goes for the save.
Yeah, he's got no diffuse kit, absolutely no utility to work with either. Only 65 points of health. You okay there, bud? I'll just a bit of a cough. Yeah, indeed, Morels will save that up. And T-Spawn needs to be quite careful because there will be some marauding gear up upper mid. Takes Morels down to just 8 points of health here. And with the man pushing through B tunnels, I believe that's Mole. And Mole will indeed find the headshot onto Morels. That's an AWP down for the counter-terrorist team. And indeed, once again, they find their economic woes coming back to haunt them. The Infused team really, the Rasta Infused team rather, not really having much of a chance to build up an excessive economy. There's been plenty of back and forth kills in these rounds, plenty of close situations. So, as a result, they've not really been able to build up a completely sound bank themselves, but the CTs have really never been able to get anything going here. It seems like every gun round they lose, they're forced onto an eco afterwards. Yeah,
and the problem is, every time they win a round, they can't string them together. They can never string these rounds together, and it's just such a massive problem. They're not going to be able to build any sort of economy, any sort of momentum, unless they can at least find 2 rounds in a row. You know, that's just a minimum. And they're not finding it at all. They're not finding anything right now. And so pistols is their only choice. In the words of Shocks, they are money fucked. As they now push towards this A site, and Infused.Rasta just going ham left, right and centre, finding frags on frags on frags. That leaves just Reitz remaining. He has armour and a CZ in hand, and that is it. That's all he has to play with, and Som's going to find him. Takes him down, and 5 players alive, and as you were saying, they haven't had much of a chance to build up economy. Now they do. They're building this up, and if they keeping 5 players alive, it's going to be massive for them. Massive across the board. And Rasta, they're putting a point up here. They're saying, yeah, actually, this is our map. We're going to take this.
Talks about the lack of... talks about the struggle there for Rasta and Infused to really build up an economic bank to fall back upon. Anti-Eco will go a long way to remedy that. And Surreal once again. AWP opens things up onto Camille here. And this Surreal again with a second onto Exus. Some also finds one to Morels. Also, it must be noted that it's just an upgraded pistol round here. The CTs who really don't have much economic thing, don't have much of an economy going for them.
Yeah,
they've managed to force out rifles, so once again they've brought down to virtually naught here.
And the problem is, every time they do win a round, it comes down to a clutch situation. It's never like they're getting a clean-cut round or where they have 5 players alive. And then what that means is in the next round, they're not having everything they need. They're not having a massive amount of grenades, smokes, all that good stuff, and so it comes down to the frags. Neeks finding one onto Robin, but it's a trade frag, as Robin earlier found X's. That leaves them in a pretty bad situation, so I do find one more. That's massive. Taking down Som now, 3 versus 4. They're going to need to convert this one, and Neeks, massive frag onto Mole. That could have just secured them this round, and the AWP's finally coming into effect, but Cryptic's still fighting, finds one, looking for a second as well as he drops Neeks down to 19 HP. 3k in the round. Neeks is doing well, but he can't do that well. And so Morels, he's going to run straight into the AWP of Surreal. Is he going to expect it is the question? No, he's not. Surreal takes him down. Now into a 2 versus 2. Cryptics, Surreal have saved this round beyond any comparison. Now Surreal looking for the frag. He's not going to find it. From the smoke comes the AWP, and Surreal taken down. Now Cryptics dropping a smoke down. Because all these frags came in so early in the round, there's still loads of time to play with, but Neeks is going to find the frag. Ace in the round. And if an ace is what they need to win a round, it's not going to work for them. They can't be relying on one person to ace every round. It's just not going to go well. It's just not going to work out for them.
Yeah, 10-4 lead now. The Rasta Infused side. Really important there, really imperative, to be honest, that the Pride team did answer back. And indeed, a massive individual play with Neeks and the AWP means that they will put their 4th round on the board here. I was quite worried there, to be quite honest, because Morels really showed a lack of awareness as to what was going on around the map. You know, they dropped the bomb towards long, and the fact that Surreal just manages to get a free pick off that catwalk towards that CT area, almost as if Morels, you know, wasn't aware of, you know, the potential for Surreal to be on catwalk. They dropped the bomb at long, of course. They're going to make their way towards long to try and retrieve the bomb, so it only seems logical to me that Surreal might be in that position, but Morels gave his position away with his footsteps, got picked off, and it really became quite dicey there. In the end, the Polish team were able to close it out. Not too much going on here, a bit of battle for mid control here. So number 7, Som tries to come out of the mid doors, will be dispatched up by Reitz. Opens things up for the Polish team.
Yep, massive opening there, but such low HP across the board, and there another nade comes in to drop Reitz down a little bit lower. So all it's going to take is a few shots in the right direction, and we could be seeing players dropping like flies here. Got to be very, very careful across the board, but it's looking good so far. They have found themselves an opening pick. If they can hold on to it, convert it into a round, that's all that matters at the end of the day. However, not much utility to work with here, as the clock is run down by Rasta. They are doing all that they can to make sure when they do go for the push, there's no utility. When they do go for that retake, they're not going to have anything to play with in that excess. Massive frag comes in, jumping headshot, but Robin still pushing forward, does get taken down, and Cryptics finding the same fate. It leaves it all to Mole, and he can't make it happen. Taken down there, and so 5 rounds on the board. It's not too bad, but Pride, they would have been wanting more.
Yeah, certainly. Definitely have been expecting more from their CT side of this too. I think that's definitely fair to say. Really massive round there from Exus making that jumping scout shot to open things up there. Give them a fighting chance in that one, because it seemed quite dicey for them when Infused was seemingly able to just begin the execution of an A split without too much of an answer. The Polish team there, Pride, were really playing quite a passive setup on the A bomb site, which really leaves you susceptible to utility nades, of course. It's really quite worried for the fate of Neeks, but he did get supported quite well from that CT position. Reitz with 2 M4 headshots. Exus with a jumping scout headshot to boot as well. Going to this second pistol round, we'll have to see what the Polish team elect to do. It's just been quite a passive setup to all these long doors, possibly anticipating maybe a buddy system push. The Rasta Infused side might have actively taken long control, but instead it's not the case. We have one man towards that catwalk. That is Som. We'll find the first frag onto Camille. As a result, the Polish team have had their hand forced here, and they are going to run up long with the Glocks.
Yeah, they're being forced into this one, as you said, and Surreal takes full advantage of that. Finds one. Trade does come in onto Cryptics, however, but still massive amount of control, especially with Surreal dropping the bomb now. That's Neeks down, and this is a round in the bag for Rasta, unless something goes really wrong. Morels finding Som there, and they're just jumping around looking for frags anywhere they can find them, tapping away with those Glocks, and Mole makes it happen, takes Reitz out of the equation, and now it leaves just one, and Robin makes it happen, takes him down, puts that round on the board. That's an 11. If they can take this consecutive pistol, that's it. 12-5 will be the scoreline, easily convertible to 13-5 because they're going for that force-up. This round could be the round for the rest of this map.
It could be, and we actually see 3 rifles being brought up here from the CT side, and I do quite like this because, you know, of course, Tech 9s do become quite dangerous at close range. It's just going to be a quick B here, but Robin with the M4. Quick double spray down. That silenced weapon. Or will back him up with a P90 frag of his own. Surreal finds a 4th. The Polish team really aren't going to make too much happen with this Tech 9 force buy. Neeks will find a 2nd, but he's in a 1v3 situation.
Yeah, flying away. He will find his fate, and he will die. Now, very, very good opportunity for Rasta to take a massive lead in this game. If they can get themselves up to 13 rounds, it comes down to 1 gun round.
Yeah, not only that, not only just the fact they've got a 7-round lead for themselves here and only require 4 more to close out this first map. You also have to bear in mind that the lack of a bomb plant for the Polish team in either round means that they're once again on an eco round, and on the terrorist side of things, usually you're aiming to buy up in this third round in order to restrict the CT economy, because as we saw, we saw it quite effectively from the Rasta Infused side. They were able to keep the CT economy in check throughout that first half, and that was really what allowed them to rack up so many rounds on that T side. But the problem here, the terrorist side of things, is that if they can't really take many guns out of the hands of these CTs, they're going to build up a bank very early on in this second half.
Robin is just going wild in these eco frags, isn't he? He's having a great time, just dancing around, taking heads off left, right and centre. He's having a day of it, having a good time really. And now, this is the only round left in this game, in my opinion. If they lose this round, they have lost the game. That will not only be the first map taken off them, but that is the first map of the series that could mean they're going down to the lower bracket and they may face against Infused. But X's nice opening. That is an important frag if he wants to hold on to this map, 5-13 down. And now they're going to have to convert. Surreal finding one. That's the trade frag coming in. You would still put the advantage, however, in the hands of the T's in this situation. But a massive amount of utility on the CT side means they can equal that back out. They can hold off those choke points. Whereas over for the T's, they've only got a few smokes. They can go for an execute play, but when it comes into the post plant, they're not going to have much to work with. And so, now, the retake. No, there's not going to be a retake because they haven't planted a bomb. Normally, that is how the game works, actually. X is finding Surreal. Massive frag comes in, and now Robin is going to be the man of the hour. He's going to have to hold off this B site until support can arrive, and we've seen him do it already. We know he can do it, and it all comes down to him. Let's have a look. Robin cam, number 9. Coming in, just trying to spam down, but he can't make it happen. Gets taken out almost straight off the bat, and now he's going to have to come down to the retake. As I said before, a little bit too early, to be honest. 4 versus 2. I don't hold out too much hope for him.
Yeah, that 4v4 situation, I really didn't favour the Polish team particularly. Sure, Surreal was down to only 9 points of health, and that ultimately was the undoing of the Rasta Infused team in this round. Before that, they really had a lack of utility, and they were really relying on yet another pick in order to make something happen, because they didn't have the utility nades to execute onto that A-bomb site. The CT side still had plenty of control towards that long area in particular. And that kill onto Surreal really opened things up. It really allowed them to move across to that B side of the map, because not only did they have control of mid, but it allowed them to walk through B tunnels as a unit. And any CTs that were rotating through that CT area, CT spawn area, had to be indeed wary of any potential men lurking around the mid doors. So really gave them great control there, and the onus was on Robin to make a multi-kill pretty much to salvage the round there for the CT side. Unable to do so, bomb went down on the B bomb site, and that resulted in a save on the side of the CTs. As I mentioned though, their ability to actually win, they won 2 anti-ecos convincingly at the start of the second half, and as a result they've not faced the same problem that the Polish team did in the first half, where they lost their first gun round, and that was being forced immediately onto the eco. We actually see another gun round being forced out here by the Rasta Infused mix, and as a result Robin has found the first kill of an M4.
Yeah, that's a good opening. The problem is, they're just not able to hold on to these advantages that they find, and Morales will even it out. Rasta, even now in a 4v4, you still have to favour them because of what we've seen from the last, 20 rounds? They've just been dominating all over the place. Mole's going to pick up their M4 now, hot rod in hand, and so it's going to be the A site under pressure, but Som up close and personal. We've seen some spray downs from him so far this weekend. Is it going to be another one? Is he going to find himself a handful of frags? Cryptic's going down. They're not going to expect Som. 1, can't get the 2. Now coming down to, maybe the retake. Surreal just keeping himself alive there. Keeps 2v3. Looking for any kills on the cross that he may be able to find. Mole coming in from behind. A little bit of a tag off comes onto Camille, but no frag being secure just yet. Mole looking for the frag. Jumps in, but he can't make it happen. So it all comes down now to Surreal. Surreal cam on. FAMAS in hand. Molotov to keep him zoned out. And I think the best thing he can do here is go for the save. Find the M4 that Mole dropped and get the hell out of there. Or even just save that FAMAS. Yeah, good idea. It could have been favourable. They were low, but You can't take the risk in this situation. They're 6-13 up. Why play it dangerously? Doesn't matter if you give one round away, but if you go for that play, you have no money in the next round, that's where it does start to matter, because then you have very, very little money to play with. This is a smart play coming out from Surreal, and I like it.
Yeah, he was stuck in CT spawn there with only half health. FAMAS in hand and absolutely no utility to speak of, never mind the fact that he doesn't have a defuse kit, because the CTs were indeed quite economically stretched in that force buy. And really, that round came down to just a real lack of, I feel like, I don't want to say lack of communication between Cryptics and some, but maybe not quite the natural level of synergy that a team might require. Because it felt like Cryptics was the one to peek out there, and he got dispatched there. I believe that it was Morels. Som was able to find the trade flag, sure, but I feel like Som should have been the man to be the bait in that situation for Cryptics to peek out around the corner and really, you know, set up a bit of an awkward situation for the Polish team. But as is, they managed to find a 2-for-1 trade on that long area, and that's what opened up the round for them.
Yeah, what on earth was happening in lower tunnels there? I have no idea, but Surreal, so much control, finds one, and the second goes to Cryptics. Massive frags, puts it into a 3 versus 2, and the AWP of Morales needs to go mad now. Bomb is going to be going down. Oh no, it's not. It's not going to be going down on that B site. And what on earth Reitz thinks he's doing all the way back in T spawn, while his teammate with the bomb is over at B. You have to ask the question, what are you doing with your life? Now Surreal moving in for the attack. He's the only man at the AK at the beginning of this. He's the only man with armor, so it comes down to him to do the first bit of damage. Morales on that AWP. He's looking for anything he can find. 1 minute still in the round. They have plenty of time to play with, and Surreal getting a little bit aggressive. Baits out one shot, goes in, but he can't make the frag happen. Now all onto Cryptics. 1 versus 2. AK in hand, sprays down. They're both pretty low here, except for Reitz, of course. But he's going to have to force them away. 45 seconds remain, and a massive play from Cryptics to hold them away from that B site. What are they going to do here? What's the option that they have in their hands? I don't even know. One good shot from Cryptics could take down Reitz, and then Morales is so low, all it's going to take is a quick spray. That's it, and there could be GG.
Well, they have a smoke in hand here for the cross, and unfortunately for Cryptics, his only chance at making this shot should be neutralised quite quickly. Yep, smoke is deployed. Will allow Morales to cross safely here. Not actually the best of smokes, actually has to be said. Will be enough. A safe plant has to be mentioned as well. It's not planted for long in any way, shape or form. Morales really not wanting to show himself, not show any part of his body with only 5 hit points. You know, it would only take 1 single stray bullet. Cryptics' AK. Morales will find the kill. Cryptics does try to push up that from CT spawn to A ramp. Now over the 8th round on the board here for Refuse. Pride rather, as they're now known. The CT side will be able to buy once again into this. Of course, it should be mentioned that they only had pistols in their round, upgraded pistols, and the single AK on Surreal. They made a lot out of it.
Yeah,
it looked quite dicey for them, but Morales has found a crucial pick there. That is a B side player, Robin, being neutralised, and we'll have to see how the terrorists respond to that. It should give them an element of mid control. Because either Rasta Infused give up an element of B control, or they give up an element of mid control, right? Because their A players are still in position, and they've had to rotate a player into B, sure, but that, I mean, the mid control should now definitely be in their favour, and we might see a B split coming out of the terrorist side as a result.
Yeah, Surreal trying to get aggressive, trying to take an advantage back into his hands. He's going to get taken down. So 3 versus 5. Looks like the A site is the target. And then moving up short. They are storming their way out. No stops on this train. They are just moving and moving. No one waiting to see. Checking corners, just making sure they're going to walk into this one nice and easy, and they do. Onto the site now, bomb going down, planted for short, and the retake has to come in. Whether it's even worth going for the retake at this point, I don't know. Looks like they are going to opt for the save, and that's the only advisable option at this point. So, they're making a good choice, but once again, that gap is closing. This is going to be 9 rounds on the board, 9-13. Suddenly, that's only a 4-round difference. They've closed it up. 13-5 was the score at one point. They've really managed to close this one, and they are hunting. They are all going for this hunt. They want these weapons found as Reitz finds one, but Mole not willing to die just so easily. Camille will find him eventually. It leaves just some remaining. I don't know if they know where he is, but now they do. Finds himself one. Not going to have time to go and find Som. Som, he's going to live. He's going to live out his days. Finds the AWP as well. Good save there. He's going to hang on to that one. Maybe even throw it across to a teammate.
I imagine he'll just keep it in his hands, to be honest, and just try to make something happen with it. Just at the CT side, just have to resort to the pistols once again here. By all accounts and purposes, this should be a 10th round on the board for the Polish team. Just in regards to that last gun round that we saw, that pick from Morels in the mid doors to Robin was absolutely crucial in opening up that round, because it forced Surreal's hand into pushing for information at A long. And it looked like the Polish team were going to go for a B split. But killing that man at A long really resulted in their realization that they could just push up short and really take a stranglehold on the A bomb site, considering there'll probably be one man in CT spawn watching mid, right? So you just move up short, you plant the bomb, it's easy, does it?
Ooh. Oh no, what a mess. Pride really letting this one slip away. As Neek's going for a spray down, not going to connect with Robin straight away. Finally does find him, but now 2 versus 3. Up against Pistols, this is where it gets really worrying, because one shot can make the difference here. One shot in the right place will make a whole world of difference now. 2 Ts versus 3. Can they find themselves a way back into this one? Massive amount of map control being taken up there by Mole. He knows exactly what's going on. If they try and go B, he's going to catch them out. If they try and go A, he's going to be there in an instant. This is massive, massive stuff coming out from Mole. They are going to go for that A play. Cryptics trying to hold down the angle with the AWP. Goes for a second peek, finds it, takes the Eagle out and finds Neeks. Massive frag there to put 14 rounds on the board. And because they went for that hunt last time, if they lose this round, there's no money for match point. No money at all. They do manage to find a buy here. And a good amount of utility on a few of their players. But at the end of the day, there's everything on that CT side. They have everything they want to play with because they ecoed that last round. That was a full eco. Again.
It's a full eco. They managed to retrieve it. Well, they had the AWP on Som that Cryptics ultimately picked up and made great use of. It has to be said on that catwalk. Absolutely massive stuff coming out from the man who's ultimately not actually a part of the Infused lineup. He is one of the players mixing in with the team along with Robin. Absolutely huge round coming out from him though. Puts the CTs onto 14, only requiring 2 more. And Surreal will open things up. Some following up with a second. I think he'll trade him out. Or trade out Surreal rather. Still a 4v3 situation in favour of the CTs here, and still plenty of utility in their hands. Not too much mid control to speak of. Looks like Mole's going to try and regain some form of mid control. Will find Camille. Hicks will find his second. Dispatching of Mole. And it's going to result in the 2 terrorists just walking their way up catwalk here. Really not too much control to speak of. There's plenty of control around the map here for the CTs.
Yeah, so much control. And the thing is now, with Mole's play just there, all he has to do is trade. If he thinks he can find a frag, but he's going to be traded, it's worth it. Because it takes them down to just 2 players, and that limits their possibilities so much. They can't go for a fake. They can't go for a info play. They just have to go together and hope they make the right decision. And it's going to come down to Robin. Are they going to check his angle? That's the question. Are they going to check if he's there? It doesn't look like it. Robin could go large right now, but he's not going to be able to. They check his position just in time, and so it's going to come down to a B-side retake. But Cryptics, Money Nade comes in, and now Neeks. No HP, 12 on the board. He needs an ace, his second of the game, to win this one. If he can get this ace, sure, it's massive. But you've got to ask the question, does Neeks need to win an ace every time they win a round? As they push now onto this site, he has 12 HP and he's not going to do it. Gets taken down. Bomb's going to be defused. Match point on the board and no money at all in the coffers for Pride. And this, I've got to say it, it's map 1 in the bag.
Yeah, it's going to be Tech 9 armor game here from the Polish side, I imagine. Scout on Exus, actually, just going for Deagles and Galils. Just going to try and take the long range fights instead of possibly just Tech 9ing their way into things. We see an AK on Morels, but absolutely no utility to speak of, just a high explosive grenade. 2 smoke grenades between the entire team. Plenty of flashbangs to work with, but that's pretty much all they have going for them, as well as a single Molotov. A real lack of equipment, as opposed to the CTs, who have got pretty much everything they could ask for. AWP on Surreal. Full set of utility, full set of defuse kits as well to boot. 6 match points to play with here. And it looks like the Pride team realised the fact that they don't have too much to work with and are just going to go straight for the B play.
Yeah, they're going to run into quite the wall. It's going to be Mole holding it down with Surreal to help him out. As Robin chimes in as well with that AK-47. Finds himself 2, now just needs some reach remain. Spray comes in and it's just Reitz sitting behind the box. Can he do it? 1D comes in. He needs a hell of a lot more, but he's not going to get it. Mole takes him down. Game on the board. And that is the first map off the Polish powerhouse this whole tournament. That's got to be a kick in the teeth. They're going to have to go to the toilet, have a chat. What on earth is going on? Because